Are you ready to take your FC25 gameplay to the next level? In today's video, I'm breaking down how you can build any tactic you can imagine, from Pep's legendary 2010 tiki-taka to Klopp's relentless gegenpressing. I'll even show you a custom tactic that's been crushing it for me in career mode. Plus, I'll give you actionable tips for creating unique setups that maximize your squad's potential. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped to design tactics that feel tailor-made for your playstyle, no matter who's on your roster. If you are new to creating custom tactics, you may want to try and import already existing tactics using the code feature. In the description, you'll find several popular codes from the likes of Pep and City or Inter and Inzaghi. You'll also find a handy website where you can find more tactics or even create your own. FC25 introduces a new feature, Tactical Visions. These are essentially pre-designed blueprints that allow you to emulate a specific style of play. What makes this system incredible is the flexibility. You're not stuck within rigid templates. You can mix and match formations, roles, and styles to create something uniquely yours, whether it's based on real-life football or entirely your own invention. Let's run through the tactical visions so you know what each one brings to the table and when to use them. First up is standard. This is your balanced starting point, and honestly, it's underrated. If you're experimenting or unsure what direction to go, standard is a great choice. It won't leave you exposed, and it gives you flexibility to build from there. Wing play is perfect for teams with pacey wingers who can stretch the opposition and whip crosses into a target striker. But there's a downside. You'll lose control of the midfield. This works best for setups like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, where your wide players are a major focus. Now let's talk about tiki-taka. This style has a misleading name. It's not the slow, patient build-up you might associate with Pep Guardiola. Instead, it's a high-energy possession style where players constantly move to offer passing options. It's fantastic for retaining the ball, but it drains stamina quickly, so make sure your squad has the fitness to handle it. Counterattack, on the other hand, is all about speed and aggression. When you win the ball, your players push forward en masse, bypassing the midfield to overwhelm the defense. It's high risk, high reward, perfect if you're comfortable defending deep and waiting for your moment to strike. Next is gegenpress, and let me tell you, this one is a game changer. It's designed to win the ball back immediately after losing possession. It's incredibly effective against human opponents, but it's also physically demanding. If your team isn't disciplined, you'll burn through their stamina and get caught out on the break. Kick and rush is the classic long ball strategy. It's simple but effective for teams with fast forwards who can exploit space behind the defense. Finally, there's park the bus. This ultra-defensive setup clogs the box with players, making it a nightmare for opponents to find a way through. It's not pretty, but if you're protecting a lead, it gets the job done. Now that you understand the tactical visions, let's move on to roles. FC25 replaces the old player instructions with a role-based system, and honestly, it's a massive improvement. Roles allow you to fine-tune your players' behavior on the pitch, but the key is finding combinations that work together. For example, pairing a roaming playmaker with a complete forward creates a dynamic partnership. The playmaker roams the pitch, constantly looking to create, while the forward's movement disrupts the opposition's defensive structure. This combo is especially effective in formations like a 4-3-3 or 4-1-2-1-2. Another fantastic pairing is a balanced attacking wingback with an inside forward on the same flank. The wingback provides width and crosses, while the inside forward cuts inside to create goal-scoring opportunities. When designing your tactics, think in triangles. Let's take a 4-2-3-1 as an example. If your fullback overlaps the winger, your defensive midfielder should stay back to provide cover. This balance ensures you're not caught out on the counter. If your defensive midfielder is a deep-lying playmaker instead, you'll notice a shift in how your team behaves. The fullback might still overlap, but now the midfielder is pushing forward to support the attack, leaving your defense more exposed. These small tweaks can make a huge difference. When assigning roles, Don't stress if every player doesn't have a perfect plus for their position. While a plus rating can make a noticeable impact, a single plus isn't as critical. Focus on creating combinations that play to your team's strengths. Now let's talk about line height. This is an area where you can really tailor your tactics to suit your team. A high line is great if you have fast center backs and want to press aggressively. Your strikers will push up to press the defense, which can lead to turnovers in dangerous areas. But if your defenders are slow, playing a high line is risky. It's a recipe for getting beaten by through balls. On the other hand, a deeper line sacrifices pressing for defensive solidity. I like to set my line height somewhere in the middle, around 40 to 50, because it allows my midfielders to press while keeping my defense relatively secure. Now let me share a custom tactic that's been a game changer for me in both career mode and ultimate team. I use a 4-1-3-2 setup with some creative adjustments. On the left side, I have an attacking wingback who pushes forward aggressively, almost like a winger. To balance this, my left midfielder is set to defend, dropping back to cover the space left behind. On the right side, I use a wide playmaker on attack, paired with a target forward who drifts wide. This creates a dynamic rotation where the playmaker often becomes the primary striker while the forward pulls defenders out of position. In central midfield, I use a holding midfielder to anchor the defense. This ensures that even when my fullbacks push forward, I still have a solid defensive base. The result? When I'm attacking, my formation morphs into a fluid 4-2-4 with plenty of options in the final third. It's unpredictable, it's effective, and it's a blast to play. With these tools, you can create a tactic that's both effective and uniquely yours. Whether you're aiming to replicate a real-life strategy or craft something entirely new, FC25's tactical system gives you the freedom to do it all. If you found this guide helpful, drop a like, subscribe, and share your custom tactics in the comments.